Hello and hello again, everybody! This episode will focus primarily on adding details to the map or terrain you created in the first part or episode. Now, it should be noted here, beginning out by your opening studio and whatnot, it should be noted that I had originally recorded this same exact episode, well, not same exact, but this episode beforehand. The issue I had was, while I was editing it, I accidentally closed my editor without saving a single thing. And so unfortunately, I had already gotten through a bit of work on it, but you should be able to catch up pretty quickly. The main additions I made were this thing, which isn't actually important. I did go back into our small corner here, and I upped it a bit, and you'll see why a bit later. Over here, I added a pond, and this will take a little bit of explaining, so I will release another video along with this one, showing you how to create ponds using Terrangle and block meshes. Okay, so those are the only real changes that were made. Aside from that, I did up some of the spots around here. They're not really noticeable, just minor alters to the ground, and that was just to give it a bit of a more natural feel. The most important part I was getting onto when I was making the video beforehand was the creation of our spawn area, which I will now demonstrate as I had originally intended. So, to start off our spawn area, we're going to need an idea for it. I'm just going to go with what I had planned in the first recording, and that was old ruins where heroes got quote-unquote summoned to this plane. So what we are going to do is first we'll copy and paste a block, since you could do it doing the basic objects menu, but I find it easier to just copy a block from around and reuse it. So we will make a square. We will make a cube, square, whatever. We will make this part granite, since we want these people to have some class. And then we will copy and paste that on top of it. And for this, we're going to want to bring it in a bit, so there's a bit of a ledge between this part, since we're going to sandwich this middle part here. So we will have to change this to custom. Switch to the 1/5 increment, but remember, do not go up or down with it. It will ruin sizing a lot. But take it 1/5, a 1/5 stud on every side. Just like this. Then you can switch back into one stud and bring it down. Unfortunately, that plays with it a little bit. Just make sure that whatever the bindle size is here, it's still a digit or a number with no decimals. Otherwise, it should be alright. Okay. Then we will change this back to slate. We will copy the granite part again. We will make it longer. For this part, we can make it marble. We'll copy and paste the slate and the granite again. And voila! We've got an old pillar. Or, not necessarily an old pillar, but we've got a pillar in general. We'll group them together, name it pillar. For the pillars, old ruins typically have them sitting off to the side because over time and alterations to the landscape around it over many years, they'll begin to change orientation. So we can bring it over to the sides, rotate it a bit on the axis, just to give it that it's been here a while so it fell over kind of look. We bury it in the ground a bit. Make sure all edges are into the ground. And voila! We've got the first of those pillars. You're going to want to scatter them about a bit. Oh no, wait. Before you do that part, we need these old civilizations usually had cobblestone paths. So we will copy another block. We will size it down so you can move it better. Bring it down here. Now we are going to turn this part to cobblestone. Oh, that's corroded metal, my bad. We will turn it to cobblestone. Oh, before you go messing around in here, I recommend using the lock tool on the terrain group, just so you do not move it while you are working here. Now, we are going to want a few different sized pieces of this, so we will play with this a bit. Make smaller and smaller sizes. Make a couple larger ones. Just go a bit random with this. Give it kind of a no one knew what they were doing feel. So you can kind of go something like that. And this set of blocks will work. Now we will want to rotate them a bit. Just kind of modify what they're aiming at. Leave a couple of them just plain out straight. Turn others almost completely around. And now we want to bury them at differing heights. So we will bring this one down to about here. Move one like that. We will... I modified the terrain here, so it's going to look a little strange, but we can... Actually, that is a little odd. I don't remember twisting it like that. That's not just the terrain. This block got twisted. That's straight. That is also straight. So we'll go down here to rotation, and we want to solve this rotation. Oh, that's also rotated. The X, we'll make it 0. And the Z, we'll make it 0. There we go. That'll make it nice and flat. You could probably do that for all of these, come to think of it. So X, 0, Z, 0. And that will make them all even in the ground. Now we don't have any of that weird clipping. So continue to bury this. We will also bury this part. And this one. This one too. Now that we've got these clipped, and I modified the terrain in the first recording, so it will look a little odd here. But just know that that was me changing the terrain to make it look a little more natural. Just minor edits with the brush. We will bring this over, bury them where they're all just visible. You might have to change individual heights since the terrain got altered and whatnot. So bring it further down. They're all visible. Good. And then just bring them down again. Especially these little parts, apparently. They tend to go back up. Alright, so we've got that. And we are pretty much done with this part, I think. Setting up the cobblestone around here. Now it's time to scatter about the pillars. I'll make a few copies of the pillars. Put them here and there. We could put them in this 3x2 formation. 3x2. And that should set up a temple-y kind of look. Oh, key got stuck. And the center one will want to probably stand up straight. You'll want a couple of them to stand up straight so they look like they know what they were doing when they built this thing. Or straighter. Not exactly sure we can get it straight anymore. But we will bury that one. I'll have this one point inwards. Pretty sharply. Bring that one back. Twist it around some. Bury it. I'll make sure all edges are down in there. we don't get any weird clipping look. That by all rights should have fell over a long time ago. Okay, so we will also do this. Bend it inward, over to the side. Now you could like build little rocks and whatnot for rubble and such. Anything to add detail to an old ruined temple is perfectly fine. Well, or whatever it is you're doing, castle, whatever. Remember that these videos are just a guideline. It's not like telling you how you should do things. It's showing you processes that lead you to making design decisions like this. And we just bury them all, and looks like we got them. Looks pretty good. I can dig it. Alright, so one interesting thing I did in the previous video, or previous recording, just a second here, I need to take a drink. One interesting thing I believe I did in the original recording was the spawn platform I had placed here. We are going to copy this part. Since we're going with the cobblestone aesthetic, might as well keep it up. But you are going to want to make this a little higher. Now we're going back into the 1/5 stud. No, 1 stud, my bad. 1 stud increments. We don't want to mess with anything else from here on out. I'll make it about 4 tall. Bring it all the way across. Alright, that looks about good. So, we will place this down. Bring it all the way across, that way it's connected on both sides. And that should do it for that part. We're going to copy and paste it, if you did not know what that popping up again was. We are going to put it behind it. Oh, that's a little too much of a separation. I'll bring it in closer. Okay, that looks like it's connecting pretty good. We won't have to mess with it too much. We could probably bring it in a bit more. And we definitely need to bring it down. We want it to go all the way into the ground. And then we shall bring this back. And this will be our platform. Now to keep our aesthetic going on here, I'm going to want to grab cobblestone, or you want to grab cobblestone. No, that's pebble. I want cobblestone. Though pebble would also work here, actually, now that I think about it. Nope, don't change the canyon walls. We will edit this area. Color the inside, or materialize the insides to cobble. It's going to spread to the outside, but that's not an issue. Anyone who'd built a temple like this anyway would have kept it so orderly anyhow. You could also do this with pebble now that I think about it. Might actually look pretty good. I might do that off camera. But, now color them in. And voila. You got this part. Now you might not understand what it is my goal is here just yet, and if you do not, observe. This could be considered part of what I did to make that pond over there, except I had to use a block mesh to get the sizing proper. For something like this, you can use a block mesh, but it's probably tons easier to just do it with a block. And probably less laggy. I like to keep instances down as much as possible. And bring it over. That'll do her. And so now we've got this platform area with a small water canal off to the side. Alright. Now the question then comes, how are the people going to get down from up there? Well, I've got an idea for that. Using that gap fill tool, gap fill didn't work? I don't have a single clue. Alright, so we'll pull this back up. I guess we're going to grab the anchor part. I did not originally intend to do it this way, but we will grab it. 1/5 increments. Isn't exactly going as planned. Alright, we're just going to do it the stairway. Stairs will do just fine. But I'm building the stairs up here at this time. The last recording, the stairs were horrible. Like, absolutely terrible. Alright, whatever, we'll clip it and then just union it. Now not even that's working. What is with the positioning on this nonsense? Alright, that's horrible. I have no idea why Studio is being such a pain in my butt now. But we'll just set this up. Make the stairs pretty deep since we'll have to put it into the ground. We shall make them all cobblestone. Then we shall union them, because I'm tired of playing with Roblox's stupid thing. Okay. Now we will drag this to the edge if we can, if Roblox doesn't want to be a certain set of words. Alright, there's a major drop off there, but we should be able to live with that. Yeah, we'll live with that. I'm done messing with that. We'll just leave it like that. People can drop. I don't care anymore. People can drop. Okay. So the next part of building this platform, let's center it a bit more. It's a little harder than I thought it would be. Okay. Now, this looks like you're up against a canyon wall, and that makes little to no sense. So what we can do is turn the stuff up here to marble, as if there was a temple here, but it got surrounded by stone and whatnot. So now we have this neat little aesthetic. Over in the corner you have this, what would seem to be some lost place. And what we will do is we will take another part, a smaller one this time, and what we are going to do is we are going to create a small circle where we put the spawns and whatnot. Let's make this into a square. We can mess with the size down here. 28 will do for both. Right click it in the Explorer, insert object, cylinder mesh. Let's make it cobblestone. Actually no, we can leave it marble. Make it kind of a platform. I said leave it marble, not change it to wood. So we will do that and move it over here. Now we 1/5 it, put it into the ground until it's just barely there. And there we've got our pad. Now, you're going to... I'm just going to use a smooth, non-colliding spawn I have in my models. And I am going to place them on this pad. 4 of them, since some people won't move and you don't want to be pushed further and further up. And now we will decorate this with a crystal, actually. Give it some style. This is occasionally using free models is perfectly alright. It's not an issue at all. So we will search for a crystal. We'll just use this. But we're taking out the sparklies. Alright, so we got a crystal. We're going to want to scale it up. Probably go by... No, 8. 10's way too much. 10, 8, maybe 8. 8 looks alright. 13? Yes, that looks like a respectable crystal. Any girl would marry you with a crystal like that, son. But it ain't diamond, it's ruby. Every girl likes ruby though. Wait, who doesn't like rubies? Rubies are cool. But we are going to turn this magenta, or you could even do cyan or teal or whatever really floats your boat. I think I'm going to go for cyan, yeah. Modify the transparency to whatever you want, reflectance, whatever you want, whatever floats your boat. And then I intend to put this into the center. Come on. That's about the center. Drag it straight up. And to make this crystal a little more special, I'm going to put a point light into it so it will cast light onto the walls and ground around it. This point light will make it generally the same color, which apparently is turquoise according to my computer. And we will give it a range of, say, 24, 32, 24. 24 looks good. Brightness of that 3. That looks okay. You know what? We could copy this crystal, put it right over the top, and for this crystal, we could do like crystal outline, and we could delete that one and just size it up ever so slightly. Okay, we might need to do a bit more than that. This will give it kind of a magically outline type of thing. Then what we will do is reduce the reflective and transparent properties of it. And there you have it. We could probably do with increasing the scaling. Just 0.8 in all directions. And we will actually make this spin in probably the 3rd or 4th episode. Just have it kind of spin around a little bit. You can also have it give off some fog or something. Speaking of fog, another detail we could add is actually fog. So what we will do, copy a block, bring it over. I think the best for a fog, well, put it at 0.8 transparency, that way it's almost invisible. We want to make it a very bright color. We could probably go 0.7. Cobblestone definitely will not do. We could probably do ice. Maybe sand. To really tell, we're just going to have to, like, bring it all across. So, we'll do this. Oh yeah, that actually looks really cool. Now, the rotation is playing with us again, so just set Z to a 0. And we can bring it down. Copy another one. Also bring it down. Now, it's not going far enough in this direction. Further! And you as well! Get them all the way across. We shall bring this other one up a bit. And that will cast a sort of ominous fog across our old abandoned temple area here. And this is where all heroes in our adventure, and will start their adventure for our game. Now you're gonna have to add like some sort of scroll out lock. That way they can't like go out and see the mess we made there. It's a little not pretty back there, but it's working. It's working. But this area in particular has a set of fog. And actually what we can do is go back to the original crystal, we can actually insert a... Well, we could do sparkles, I guess. Whatever floats your boat as far as this is concerned. For the sparkles, we will make the same bright blue. And that'll do, I suppose. No, I don't like the sparkles. They look kind of girly. We will make that spin around next time. As for the spawns, make them transparent. They're light on our beautiful platform. And there you've got it. You have now got a spawn area. And that does it for this part. I don't want to make them too long anymore, so that spawn area pretty much catches you up on what we did last episode. Next one, we'll be adding a few more details as well as ideas, and in the episode after that, we'll probably be building a mountain path up there. Alright, so until next time, battle on.